tweet action.
Tweety bird. It doesn't seem to really hurt the CPU until I
Talk.
do anything. No, but until I switch to you. It's like the capturing where it has, because it has to do the double dip.
I see what you're saying.
Yeah, but let me mute myself here. I brought it down to 89. I can live with that.
Nice. I gotta turn off my fucking tap to click ghetto shit here. I don't know how I turn that on.
This is gonna freak people out because I gotta close this window really fast here. Bring up the old task manager. Hey, look, everyone, you can see my task manager. I'm managing a task right now.
You are the manager of tasks.
Yeah. Look, everyone, this is what everyone can see me manage my task. That's all I have running.
And your hidden gay porn window, but
I'm looking for gay porn right now. That's what I'm looking for. We don't need Dropbox. We can get rid of that. Fuck you. Fuck you, Dropbox. What else? What else we got going here? Yeah, I need the Google Talk. I never thought I'd ever have this problem ever again. And then,
with computers not being powerful enough.
Yeah, it's like, come on.
No.
This thing's a beast, too. It's got like fucking 18 gigs of RAM.
Well, see, someday we'll all be using our Xbox Ones, doing private Twitch streams out to unknown RTMP locations, and then combining them all into one actual stream. I
just hate how much Chrome uses when I open it. Like, it just fucking... Look at it. It's just beasting my... Like, VidBlaster's actually not taking up as much juice as Chrome is. Chrome always opens up all these fucking instances. Like, why are there 40 instances? What is it doing right now?
It's pulling up all your old tabs.
I got 2 tabs. I'm a 2-tab guy.
I see one per tab when I look at mine.
It's weird, man.
Yeah, it's weird shit.
I wonder why it's done that. What's up, dog? How you been, brother? I haven't seen him in a while.
You let me know when we're ready to start here, tough guy. You still tweaking shit there?
Let me just now. I was gonna put your nameplate up, make sure everyone knows who you are.
Yeah, I see people flooding in, so that's a good sign.
All right, we're good. All right, let's hit this shit. Let's do it.
All right. Wait, you got your nameplates all set?
I do.
Yeah, episode 10. Yeah, can we move that VidBlaster thing back to the shitty corner where it was before?
They started doing that now, so we have to figure out a way to fucking get around this shit. This is what happens, people. This is why we're moving to... This is the other reason.
XSplit?
Yeah, we're getting rid of this shit. I'm tired of doing this.
Yeah, that's really annoying.
Yeah, we'll be done with that next week. That'll be Gonesville. Nice. Unless someone wants to give me like $5,000.
Or knows a good site for serial numbers and cracks that
I could legitimately buy with no money.
Yes, yeah, it would be a legitimate purchase for $0.
Right.
Kind of like that old Russian MP3 site that used to be around.
I remember that shit, dude.
It was legit. You could buy them for like 10 cents. And people were like, it's not stealing. I bought it for 10 cents.
Was that mp3.com? Wasn't that the name of it?
No, that was...
what was the name of that place?
mp3.ru, maybe?
Yeah.
For Russia. And
it'd be like $1 a song, or like a 10 cents a
$1
song.
an album, yeah.
$1 an album, yeah. God, I remember that shit. And it's like, well, it's legal. Yeah, that was awesome. Right. That's what we need. We need more free shit.
We do.
All right, let's do this.
All right, you done sniffling there? You need to go blow your nose? You good to go? Need to mute and hawk a big ass BB?
Well, that's what sucks. I don't have mute because I can't mute because I have your stuff come through the mixer, so I have to always...
Ah, nice.
Yeah, I like to keep it real natural here. A lot of
I guess
talking.
So. It's totally pro like
that. It's pro, Then when you have to fix it, you get to go through all my sniffles and shit. It's fantastic.
Yeah, except that they're impossible to fix in video.
Yeah, I know. That's why I love it. Yeah. I don't like to be, what's the word? Refined.
Polished?
Refined is what I was going with. But yeah, polished. That works.
Either way, I understand. All right, well, let's start this shit up. If you'd like to sponsor, oh my God, I can't even start this shit up. If you'd like to sponsor Still Got Game, give us a call at 773-527-2961 or email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. Hey now, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to Still Got Game, episode 10. Still Got Game is the official podcast of tooltoplay.com. I am, as always, Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I, of course, am Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
What is going on, Joel Dude I Rock Albert? We've been off for like three and a half weeks now.
We're on like the super hiatus. People thought we weren't coming back. Everyone was like, "What? Did you guys break up? Is there a problem within the crew? Do you want to talk about it?" Like, no, he just didn't have air conditioning. He's hot.
Yeah. Yeah. It went from the no air conditioning problem, which is now fixed. The house is a glorious 68 right now, I think, down here.
Nice.
So the big studio lights on, and yeah, look, no sweat. I don't even need, well, I have an absurd amount of drinks, but that's for a different reason. And, and then we had the week off for Labor Day.
Labor Day, right?
And I forget what the other one off was, but yeah, we're off for 3 weeks, but now we're back. We're full board. We're well rested.
We're good to go.
Like, no bags under the eyes.
Nope.
No, we're good.
Little rusty.
Yeah, definitely. Came off real strong with my pre-roll.
Yeah, exactly. That's how you know. Yeah. You brush that vacation off.
But, by the end of the show, we'll be hitting the ground full speed.
Exactly.
All right. Well, just before we get into the meat of the show, first off, we are still looking for an intro for the show. I know Hitman mentioned that he was thinking about putting something out there for us, but we're looking for something around 30 seconds, something that basically says Tool to Play presents Still Got Game. And it doesn't have to be over the top, crazy. It doesn't even have to be video. We can just use it for the music for the MP3 version of the show. But if it is something with video, that's all the better. We'll take whatever you got. And if you hook us up with some, we'll try to get you some sort of prize that fits into your gaming regime, whether you're an Xbox guy, PS3 guy, a PC guy. Doesn't matter. We'll find some for you, unless you're a Wii guy, in which case
you're fucked.
Just go home.
Yeah, stop playing video games.
Yes. All right, and then we'll get into the meat of the show, feedback from last week's show. Remember, if you leave us a voicemail, it will cut you off after a minute. Seacoast Most Comments. Your discussion last week about WildStar's multifaceted business model was really helpful. I had read all about it online, but had no idea what the fuck I was reading. You guys cleared it up for me. Thanks, and I love the show. Yeah, it's definitely not a standard business model. For those of you that weren't here a month ago when we actually did a show, WildStar has like this, it's free to play or pay to play or free to earn stuff and then use that to pay to play. It's definitely an innovative business model. But if you read it on some of these news sites, you'd be totally clueless as to what was going on.
Yeah, I actually thought they did a fairly good job of presenting it to the public, but it's at such a different angle this time that I think no matter how you present it, it takes a while to digest. And they actually kind of, even after they did the announcement, after we did the announcement, they have since like reiterated what's going to happen. They've did some Q&As. They've like trying to explain to the consumer. I think they're like, they don't want to run into like, an Xbox One situation or like a bad, like really tell the consumer, this is how you can play our game. This is how the money is going to work. And they've done a pretty good job. I mean, they've done a great job of mixing two models that have been used in the MMO world, and they're just sort of trying anything and everything, which I think is probably smart because this business model seems to be going downhill with the subscription-based stuff. So they're able to keep it for those guys and change it up for the free-to-play. It's win-win.
It is win-win. Yeah. Like that's the problem with MMOs is that some people are drawn toward a certain MMO because of the business model. Some people don't want to pay a monthly fee.
Definitely.
Some people would rather pay to these incremental little amounts. Other people just want to pay and play all they want. So this kind of caters to both. Nobody has a distinct advantage over anybody else, and I think this is a real great concept.
Yeah, and especially with that whole the stigma of if you start out as, and this kind of happened to Star Wars, if you start out as a subscription game and then you go free to play, you failed.
You failed.
Right. Yep. It's over. Your game sucks. It will never be good. Doesn't matter any work you put into it or what you try after that point, you're a failure. So at least if they come out the gate, they're like, hey, we're free to play and we're subscription. I don't even know what the judgment of failure is at that point. They just are like, you guys don't know, we don't know.
We're clueless too. It's all good.
Yeah. Are the servers still running? Success. That's really it's the only way you can judge it. So
more money's coming in than's going out.
Right.
That's a good sign.
Yes.
Yeah. All right. And Ike comments, what was up with the audio quality last week? Stuttery, even on the YouTube video. Well, that was the week that we had all kinds of weird fucking problems and we didn't know what the hell was going on. The show barely went on.
Yes.
We came on like 25 minutes late and we kind of Frankenstein shit together. So while I'd like to say it was our fault that we did something wrong, we didn't change anything. It was something, it was probably, Twitch redoing the back end before all this stuff went live or who knows, but it was definitely shittier. And I noticed when I was trying to edit it.
Yeah, it's shittier. And I'm hoping by next week, we're going to switch to XSplit. We're going to get off of using VidBlaster to do most of our streams. VidBlaster is great for doing the camera switches and all the other things that you guys have seen. But if you notice in the bottom left-hand corner and you're puking, that's because they now burn in their own logo that you cannot remove unless you pay for it. And, of course, their payment structure is like in the thousands. And it's just we don't need it for what we're doing. We're just streaming for you guys and hanging out. So
because we don't make any money.
Right.
So,
We're poor. So yeah, unless you guys want to give us a ton of money, then we'll probably still not pay for it because that's a ridiculous sum of money to pay for a streaming service, unfortunately. Yeah. So we'll be switching to a different thing. Hopefully we're going to get this smoothed out and a little bit more professional once we do. XSplit lets you do all the things that you've seen on Twitch anyway. So we can have little cool things playing in the corner and all that other stuff, different scenes that we can set up. So we'll see how that works out. So we apologize for the quality, but it will get better.
Yep. Hopefully, starting this week, you'll already see an improvement.
Definitely.
All right. And last but not least, Not So Virgin Mary comments. I love your show. Absolutely love it. I look forward to the video posting each week, although your month-long vacation has been painful. I can't wait for your return. Well, there we are.
Yay. We're back.
We're back.
Guess
Not So
who's
Virgin
back?
Mary. That's a great name, by the way.
That's really good. Quality name.
Yes. And it does. I am sure that would actually pass the Xbox Live name qualifications. Unlike if you went with like Whore Mary,
Right.
probably not. But Not So Virgin, yeah.
I tried for Fisted Mary and it didn't go. It didn't work.
Yeah,
Didn't work.
Backdoor Mary.
Backdoor Mary didn't. It might work.
You never know.
You never know.
You never know. But thank you for the kind words. It is good to be back. It wasn't quite a month, but I know it probably felt that way if you were really someone that just hangs on our every word and looks forward to the next day. I can't
Yeah,
even
you
say
can't
that
even
with a
get
straight
through it.
face.
You can't even get through it.
Yeah. If you really look forward to the show, I'm sure that seemed like a really long time. But we're back, and we're going to be on normal schedule now for good, unless something goes wrong. But that is the plan, and hopefully we don't let you down again. If any of you feedback, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@toooltoplay.com. And on that, in the site-related news, I've got nothing. Jay, what do you got?
Nothing. We're actually kind of in that process of going through a more radical change with what we're doing with Tool to Play, but that's going to be down in the near future. If you're a listener of the show and you like the show, you like the content that me and Derek provide and that other people provide, that's the way we're going with Tool to Play. We want to do more content and bring cooler things to everyone that watches us and loves the stuff that we talk about. So on a bigger scale, nothing like very, very soon, but we're in the works of starting to tool with things and push a lot more cool stuff your guys' way, which includes, a whole new website and all that other stuff. But that's in the far, far future, but I think it's faster approaching than the last version was, just because I have a handle on how these things are done now, more so, and how to deploy things faster. So,
I think now we also have a better idea of what we want to get
Right,
out of our
yes.
final product. Whereas the first time it was very malleable. We put out the first iteration, and half the people were like, "This sucks," and the other half were
Right.
like, "This is awesome." And then you try to tweak it to fix each side's problems. Then everybody flips sides, and
Right.
then you can't win. So the way to do it right is to do what we want.
Yep, and that's definitely what we're gonna do. We're doing what we want to do, and that's not to say we want to screw over other members that have been with Tool to Play since 2005. They'll still have their place, but we want to focus on actually bringing content and growing the website, as opposed to just sort of creating areas for people to go off on their own and lock the doors. We just want to have more people commenting and talking and bringing older gamers into a community and bringing older gamers out into the public too. I think that's the other thing that we don't really like right now.
The content that we produce doesn't necessarily have to be from the same 7 or 8 people on the site. We can
Right.
open it up, and our member base can be those that are creating. Everybody is a content generator. Everybody has all kinds of content they can put out there. Everybody's got something interesting to say, something that they can share that no one else can. And our membership is huge. So by opening that up and letting our content generators out there, that kind of opens up the world for you and gives you your foot in the door right off the bat with this audience that we've already built in.
Exactly. I mean, if you like the blogs, and like the blogs are always a big success with us, that's the stuff that we want to see more of. We want to see you guys talking about games and getting other people interested in being a part of your discussion. That's what we want to do in a nutshell. If that makes sense. So that's what we're looking forward to. And who knows? I have no ETA on any of that. And I'll never do that again. But at some point,
when we tell people everything goes wrong.
yeah, at some point in time, within the next 15 to 25 years, this will happen. Yeah.
I would say 1 to 25 years.
That's fair. That's fair.
Yeah. I wouldn't want to say 15. That really sets the wrong.
Yeah, that's a bad standard to set. I understand.
Yeah. All right. Well, on that, why don't we hop over into what we're playing? Joel, Dude, I Rock, Albert, what have you been playing this week?
This week's I've been slammed with work.
Or the last 3, really?
Yeah, hell. I've been up and down with things. I still been playing a lot of Tropico, which is weird. I'm kind of into it, and that's really it. I haven't even really gone to Warcraft even, because that's in a lull until they have their new little patch thingy too. So I'm honestly waiting for GTA 5. That's the only new thing that I've just been sort of not. I haven't really cared about video games until that kind of hits. And then it's weird. We're so close to this new console that, like, as we get closer and closer, I care less and less about video games because I'm just like, we're almost there. I can wait it
They're
out.
so old.
Yeah, it's true. It's true.
Yep.
Have you been keeping up on games, or how's it been? I mean, you've been in the basement.
I've been playing shitloads of
Oh, yeah?
stuff. I played every week. I do 2 nights, usually of Borderlands 2 with Tiff and my good buddy Mr. GBMS. Those same nights after Tiff goes to bed, he and I play some Halo 4 just to keep that all up and fresh. Tiff and I have been playing through Disney Infinity. We've done a couple of the campaigns through there. That's actually a surprisingly fun game.
Really?
If you like the Lego game, hunt and collect concept, or even Crackdown, collecting the agility orbs. It's that same kind of thing. There's always something to find. It ties back in the story, the characters you love. It's not just a kid's game. I would say it's actually probably geared towards an older set of kids that can actually understand the game concepts that they provide. So we had a good time with that, and I've been playing actually a lot of the World Series of Poker Full House Pro.
How do you like that? Are you playing with a bunch of people, or are you just sort of going out there and playing by yourself?
I've been playing with randoms
pretty good?
going through, doing a lot of single table tournaments. Finished a lot of those in first place. And,
look at you.
No, that's the beauty of having skills. But it's actually surprisingly fun. Usually the Xbox poker games, I know that we always have a big subset on Tool to Play that's always enjoyed them. And you can still go ahead and if you have a group of friends that all want to play on a certain night, you could set up a private table and do that. You could even do something like I'm not sanctioning this, but you could have some kind of offline money collection system where you say, all right, everybody wants to play. We're all going to kick in $25 to this PayPal. We're going to play a tournament it's all regulated. The cards are all random. The dealing's taken care of. And whoever wins, you just send it back via PayPal to the winning people. Now, I hate to have given out that idea because it's fucking awesome. But, there are some rules in this country until the Poker Players Alliance fixes the poker rules. That's probably your only way to get an online game with your friends and collect some cash from it. But, the game is well done. It's got a nice leveling system to it. It's got all these cute little power-ups and there's XP, and you can using your in-game currency, you can buy some XP boost to double your XP rate that you're building. You unlock costumes and shuffles and chip folds, and it's definitely cool. It's a fun little game to play when I usually play when I have an hour to spare because I'm gonna sit down and play a single table tournament, and I know it's gonna be done in an hour or so, and it's fun. You can't recommend it enough, and now it's free on Xbox Live.
Yeah, free. There's no reason not to get it if it's free. Yeah. Yep. And I think everyone will try it out just to play poker with your buddies, online.
Yeah, we should get some Tool to Play games going.
That'd be kind of cool, yeah.
And kind of organize that up. I'm sure if we hit up certain people like Taxi, they would.
Those guys would
want to run the gamut for us.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. Well, that was like 11 games that I played, but feeling good about that, and until this new console thing is going, it's that same kind of lull where it's going to be Borderlands and Halo and some of these little filler XBLA games. So
it is what it is.
All right. On that, why don't we hop over into the new releases? It's a light week for new releases, but there's a couple big name ones. First new release out this week is a multi-platform release, and it is NHL 14, and this is out for the 360 and the PS3. This is the latest and greatest of EA's annual NHL series of hockey games, and it's the 23rd one in the series, believe it or not. That's a lot of fucking hockey games.
It's a lot of money.
Yep.
That's a lot of lineup changes is what that is.
Yes, roster change 2013.
Exactly. Yes.
In addition to the graphical overhaul this year, the fighting engine and physics engines have been completely redone. Fighting now uses the Enforcer engine, which you may know from the Fight Night series. So they've literally taken their engine that they built up for a fighting game, and they've put it into the fighting part of their hockey game.
Which is pretty cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah, yes. I read that, and I was like, that's actually pretty awesome.
They've taken the player and puck collision physics, and they use the same, what they called the player impact engine from FIFA 14 that Drake loves. They took that, and they moved that awesome... In the soccer world, it was more like how the ball stays on your toe or how it doesn't. Not like other soccer games where like you run around and the ball just sticks to you. This was more the realistic ball handling and how the physics of the ball. And they kind of equated all that to the stick and the puck and how you hit other players and what happens to the puck because of the ice. And the physics of the game are probably better than they've ever been. So they've definitely gone more than just the roster update this time and the usual graphical improvements. In addition to all the awesomeness, it features a throwback NHL 94 mode for those of you that love that game, which the controls and the presentation are the same as the NHL 94 game, but obviously the graphics are the new fancy graphics. But think about playing with the simplified control set and have the presentation be that one that pretty much everybody played the shit out of. That was the go-to hockey game back then, and that's really the one that set NHL apart from the other knockoff hockey games. It was their really first huge success with the NHL series. So that's the part of this that I'm looking most forward to. The game looks amazing. Fans of the series should definitely pick this one up, and I'm sure they've already got it. But and actually, if you did like whatever that EA Sports Pass thingy was, that subscription, you actually got to download this like 2 days ago or 3 days ago. So I'm pretty pumped for it. This may actually be a hockey game I pick up, and especially now that they have all these deals where if you buy it on the 360 now, you can do like that. Basically, it's a $10 upgrade fee essentially to get it on the Xbox One. So
that's not a bad deal. Yeah, that's not a bad deal.
Yeah,
at least they're doing stuff now. You know, that's the whole thing. Like it really was before. It really did feel like a roster change. Like you're like, hey, I'm spending another $70 to get a roster change. I think they're noticing that this will tie into a story that we're going to talk about in a little bit. But they're noticing a little bit of a decline in like people buying these products, right? Because they're just, I think people are finally just like, dude, I want to justify the $70 roster purchase, but I can't. So
and the guys that do that are the guys that are the trade-in guys, and they're getting, you buy these games for $60 and you get a trade-in value because it's a limited time thing. You get a trade-in value like $5, so you're losing $55. You're paying $55 a year to play these games.
Yeah, that's a lot of money. That is a lot of money.
All right, but we'll get more into that later.
We'll get more into that later. Yeah.
All right, well, the other new release out this week is out in the PC, and it's Arma 3. This is the latest in Bohemia's popular tactical mil-sim shooter series, Arma. The game is set in the 2030s in Greece and the Aegean Sea. The newest iteration of Bohemia's real virtuality engine, I know, try to say that fast, brings amazing improvements to the game in terms of the look of the game, the physics behind the game. Lighting is completely redone, and now they've got this whole new underwater rendering portion of the engine. So now the game is opened up to all these underwater scenes and different aspects that can be played out there. The game looks great. Fans of the series have been waiting far too long for this, and they're already in line to get this now. There's no early reviews out yet. The Arma series is one of those ones that it's always really successful, but the review scores are always in the 7s and 8s. But they do have this hardcore fan base that they'll buy it no matter what. So if you're looking for something different and you're a PC gamer, maybe try it out, but who knows?
Yeah, I don't know with Arma. The big thing to always remember about Arma is obviously that Arma is what DayZ is made out of. So if you ever play DayZ, it's essentially the zombie game that was written as a mod on top of Arma 2. And that game, like, people have pretty much quit their jobs over because they love it so much. They don't go to work anymore. So it's cool to see what Arma 3 is, because you can keep that in mind that they're building now with not on top of it this time, but as a separate game altogether. They're building DayZ. So if you've seen the Arma 3 engine and how things look, just keep in mind that's going to be kind of how DayZ looks, and it looks great. Arma does a phenomenal job, whether you love the gameplay or not. Just the way they set up their scenes and the way they do their physics. Their shit is like some next-gen shit. Like, it really, really is. They pay a lot of attention to realism and how things move and how things are. So it's cool. It's a cool game. I don't know why they always give it, 7s and 6s. I know it tends to be a buggy game. That kind of maybe goes in with the fact that they're not like the multi-billion-dollar sort of studio. But they do a great job of fixing those bugs and stuff like that. And they're actually a pretty good team. So if you're into PC games or whatever, give it a shot. Arma's going to be fun.
They're a small company, too. I remember we had our E3 appointment with them 2 years ago, the one they blew us off at.
Right, yeah.
And we finally found their booth was like more like a little kiosk over like in a hallway.
Right.
And we showed up on time for our appointment, and because they were understaffed and they had like 5 appointments booked, they're like, oh, you can come back in like an hour and a half. And yeah, sure, we'll be back. And, that's the kiss of death with us. I schedule this shit tight. You fuck up, you lose. So.
There's a million other places to go. That's the problem. But look, they're doing a good job, though. I mean, they were busy.
Their games always look great. They look better than the resources they have to make them look that way.
Exactly. So props to them. And again, DayZ's a really cool idea. It's a survival horror game where it's essentially set in, you and your buddies, you just try to live. But it's cool because it's open world environment and all the other stuff. So it's cool to see what they're doing with Arma because that's going to kind of coincide with what you're going to see in DayZ.
The next iteration of DayZ.
Yeah, so that's kind of cool.
Very nice. Well, on that, Jay, why don't we hop over into gaming news? First story!
All right, here we go. First story, PlayStation Vita TV. So PlayStation's putting out a Vita game. I don't even know what you have in this title. It's like all messed up here. What's going on there, buddy? Inline editing as we do it. That's why I love the show. There you go, buddy. So anyway, PlayStation Vita is putting Vita games on TV and a whole lot more. This is via joystick. Sony Computer Entertainment Japan, mind you, has revealed the PlayStation Vita TV, excuse me, which is a miniature system that plays Vita games on the television. The Vita TV has slots for both Vita games and memory cards, allowing users to play games on their TVs with a DualShock 3. It'll support 1,300 games, including Vita, PSP, and other PlayStation offerings. Like the Vita, Vita TV will also support PS4 remote play through the future system update that we'll see. So I don't think it's right at launch that you're going to see this, but down the line, this is going to kind of all connect together, which will be really cool. Vita TV also enables streaming through some such services as Hulu and stuff like that, so that's kind of cool. Sony Computer Entertainment's press release provided some specs of Sony's little new device. The Vita comes in at around 6.5 centimeters by 10.5 centimeters and weighs just 110 grams. It connects, this is pretty cool, it connects to the TV via HDMI and supports Wi-Fi and has an internal memory card of 1 gig. So it's got a decent amount in it for that tiny little thing that it is. Also, the Vita TV can connect to 2 DualShocks at once, so that's pretty cool. This functionality applied with the PS1 games in mind, of course. The PlayStation Vita TV will cost 9,954 yen, including tax when it launches November 14th in Japan, but that converts to around $100 US, so it's a decent price. There will also be a bundle that includes a DualShock 3 controller and 8 gigs, which is pretty good, of a Vita memory card, and that's going to come in around $150 US. I don't even want to give you the yens because you guys don't care. So, what are your thoughts on this movement into now this Vita TV? What do you think about this? Do you care?
I'll tell you, this is awesome, and
Really?
I'll tell you why. Because you're going to like this too. So, right now, one of the value adds for the PlayStation 4 was here in the house, Tiff has her Vita. So let's say that I'm watching TV. Well, she can take her Vita and literally play any of her PlayStation 4 games streamed onto her little Vita screen and use that as the control and play those games. Well, now you're not limited to just sitting on the couch and playing that. She could actually be in another room in the house on a different TV. Let's say that the kids are all watching something in the one TV that has the PlayStation 4 because it's the family room, it's the big, the big everybody hang out area.
Right.
Well, now you can go up to the bedroom that's got this PS Vita TV device, and you can use it to be that same sort of client for the PlayStation 4 and stream your games up to that and play them up in the bedroom despite not having the PlayStation 4 in that room. I think that is the bigger part of this than being able to play your Vita games on a TV. Like, who gives a fuck?
I read it as that. I mean, I don't know if that's their marketing or what, but I'm going to be honest. It took me a while to figure out what the Vita TV was. It's one of those devices where, like, why do I really need this? I don't.
Yeah, you don't need it for the reason they're telling you. Their selling point was, yeah, you can play your Vita games on a TV. Well, a lot of Vita games use the touch screen or they use the back touch thing.
Right.
All those things are lost when you use the Vita TV. So it only supports that subset of Vita games, which is still a huge subset. Like a lot of them, you don't ever have to use that.
Yeah, they don't build that stuff in. Right.
But do you really want to take that game and play it on your TV? Those games are the type of games that are designed for the Vita are really more condensed and broken up in a way that they make more sense to play in a portable travel scenario.
Nintendo did this,
or on the shitter, or that sort of thing.
That's the thing it's not made for. Nintendo did this years ago with GBA games. You were able to play that. No one did it because that's not why you buy.
You get that weird ass cable and hook it up to your TV.
But no one does that. No one. That's the thing is I looked at it like, do you really want to spend $100 or $150 on something like this? Now, the way I see you talking about it makes. Almost again going back to Nintendo feels like how you can take the Wii U controller now and take a dump and play video games on your Wii U right there.
You could already do that with the Vita. So that was right out of the gate. You could do that with your Vita with the PlayStation 4. This is saying, all right, now you can buy one PlayStation 4, one $100 PlayStation Vita, a Vita TV, and now you can play one or the other, but you can play your now PlayStation 4 on two different TVs. That seems like a pretty big value add for $100. And the other TV that you're using on gets all those streaming services that every fucking device in the world has now. You got your Hulu's, your Netflix, your whatever. But it's still, it brings that to another room that you might not have had that. And if you don't have another console in there, like here we have Xboxes literally on every TV in the house. So we don't have that problem. We can always do Netflix or whatever on any TV. But some people don't have that. They have their one family room console, and maybe they have just the PlayStation 4. Maybe they just are getting the Xbox One. Maybe they have one of each, but they're going to be on that same central TV. Well, what happens if the person, one of your spouse wants to play the Xbox One, the other wants to play the PlayStation 4, and they're both on that same central living room hub TV? Well, now the other person can go into a different room, and for that $100, you can be playing it in a different room at the same time. So I think that value is huge.
I guess that's true. If that's the only value add, because even with like adding on of the Hulu and the Netflix things, now with Google, was it Chromecast? I bought one of those things. It's $30. I stick it into an HDMI.
Yeah, that gets you the same thing.
And it gets you the same thing. So if you're talking about, now the ease of these streaming services and putting them on your device is so easy and it's so low price, you don't even need this anymore. But if the value add is truly what you're talking about, if that's what it does, I don't even know that it says it really does that anywhere. I mean, does it?
It's on here.
Like, it's just a little, I don't know, it's like confusing to me. I'm too stupid.
It's so poorly written. It says, like the Vita TV will also support PS4 remote play through a future system update.
Okay.
So that's the key sentence.
Yeah. I don't know. I guess it sounds good.
Yeah, $100 gets you, basically allows you to use your PS4 on two different TVs.
Now, have they actually said this is coming to America? That's the other thing. They talk all about this release in Japan.
The only reason they're saying it's Japan is because it's all coming out of Tokyo Game Show.
Oh, gotcha. So they're just not slating it towards us
Yeah,
yet.
all the news this week, everything will be in yen. All the release dates, like they just announced the PlayStation 4 release date for Japan is now in February. So they get it after us, which is so bizarre for Sony. But everything, all the news we're going to get this week is all going to be very Japan centric. Okay, but this stuff, they wouldn't have given the prices in US dollars had they not planned to bring it here at some point.
All right, well, next story, and this one's near and dear to my heart because we like to slam on this all the time. So EA's latest Madden release shows retail decline, and this is from Gama Sutra. The latest edition of EA's Madden football series sold more than 1 million units in its first week, which is pretty good, at retail, which is signaling a decline in the franchise. Although it's unclear how much of those numbers were the digital sales, which would offset it. So Madden 25 not doing good, but we don't totally know. Last year's Madden installment sold 1.65 million units in its comparable launch period, a significant number more than the current NFL 25 managed to sell this last week. Although EA had already noted in its latest financial guidance that it expected Madden units to actually decline. They expected the sales to decline. Colin Sebastian, an analyst firm Baird Equity Research, believes a number of factors played a role in these lower sales, including a higher average price, which sucks, for the title, and retail delays due to the upcoming hardware refresh, which I think is a pretty big point to make here. Yep. He notes, however, that the game's online Ultimate Team features made record revenue last week, suggesting that EA's digital transition is playing a key role, all those sons of bitches, in filling that retail decline. So what do you think this is? Is it the new release of the console? Is it like, why are we seeing this decrease in sales?
I think that has to be it. Like if I was someone that was if I was pinching my pennies and I knew that I was going to be buying one or more expensive consoles in November, and now the question is, is there that much interest for me to play Madden now in September? Or would I rather wait till buy something for my next gen console? And that's really the value add here. And I think we talked about this on our last show, where the things that Borderlands and Halo are doing, these little $5, $10 add-on packs to add life to a game that you've already bought, that's a much easier value proposition for someone than going and saying, hey, let's buy a full retail price game that you're going to get, October, November, 2 months worth of play out of.
Yeah, I guess so. I mean, yeah, I will say if you're thinking about spending, if in the next 2 months you're going to be spending $300, $400, maybe you take a break on this. You've already played Madden. It's like, I don't really care. So I do think that plays a big role. But
because you've got either a $400, a $500, or a $900 investment coming in 2 months.
Yeah. It's hard to justify yet another video game, which to be quite honest, I think a lot of people are saying to themselves, well, am I even going to like play? Like once I get it and now it's no longer, now I have the Xbox One, am I going to really want to go to my Xbox 360 and turn on and play Madden? No.
No, fuck no.
And now are they building it out for the Xbox One? Will we see a version over there or do we not know?
Because I thought that these things were, I thought they were both announced for that, but the chat room is saying that at least NHL 14 is not going to be next gen.
Interesting.
But I thought Madden was one of those titles too that was
That
had
both.
that $10 upgrade fee deal.
That's
but
what I thought. And that, but I mean, that could be it too. Just like, fuck it, I'll wait. Which to me would make the most sense. But I would almost think they'd show that in the story, or at least that'd be a part of the story, saying, "Hey, we're aware that it's low numbers." Because if you think about it, if they're only selling 1 million units, let's say, but they're going to be a new version coming out, which is essentially the same version, but with the Xbox One engine, their graphics rather, then I could see 600,000 units in the waiting. I could. That's a lot of people just waiting for the real version to come out. So
the hassle of doing the upgrade and having to redo everything you've done now. Like let's say you're building your Madden Ultimate Team. Well, sure, whatever DLC you buy is going to be upgradable to the Xbox One, but all the progress you made in building your Ultimate Team is all going to go away. You're going to be starting that from scratch on the Xbox One. So just wait your 2 months and play it in fucking ultra glorious, super fucking high def, 60 frames a second, 1080p motherfucking shit instead of the ghetto 360 look. But
yeah,
it's funny the 360 is ghetto now. I
know. It's like
back in 2005,
the greatest thing ever.
Skeet.
Yeah. Well, everything must come to an end, and to be honest, I hope soon. The sooner the better.
Yeah. I think the sad part of that story was that EA has been doing good with selling these fucking little decks of cards that are
that's
bullshit,
yes. This is like you read this, and as awesome as it sounds, you're like, oh, it's finally failing. Idiots are finally realizing not to buy another roster upgrade. The truth of the matter is, you see that the Ultimate Team feature is like breaking record revenue sales because fucking assholes keep buying into this EA model of like, yeah, we're going to fuck you with the $70 in the beginning, and then we're going to slowly fuck you over the course of X amount of months with these digital upgrades or these digital downloads or whatever you want to say, which I still believe is,
they fuck you the other.
It's killing the industry, man. It's killing it. Can't take it anymore.
Pick your model. If you want to do like the iPhone model, make your game $10 and then sell all your fucking Madden Ultimate Team. But you can't rape people on one end, then rape them on the other. It's not fair.
No, the double raping is bullshit.
Yep.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
Rape squared.
Rape squared. There you go. All right, next story on that lovely note. This is an interesting thing. I don't know. You guys be the judge. Crossplane puts a screen in a controller for the 360, the PS3, the PC, and the awesome and ever-loving Ouya that everyone plays.
Love that.
Everyone loves that thing. Advanced Gaming Innovations LLC began its Kickstarter campaign last week for the Crossplane, which is a controller with a touchless 7-inch screen that features as a main display for your PC, your 360, your PS3, or your Ouya. The campaign is seeking 350 Gs, which is kind of expensive, to begin production of the controllers, which backers can receive one if they contribute at least $350. The Crossplane will use a wireless HDMI transmitter, pretty cool tech, to send data to control packs, which can be swapped out from the back of the Crossplane to make the hardware compatible with different platforms. So if you have one unit, you can bring it to another. However, while the project's Kickstarter page does note the 360 control pack will be a one-trick pony, while the PS3 control pack will work for the PC and the Ouya. So if you buy the 360 one, it's just for the 360. And the reason for that is because for the other ones, they're compatible with Bluetooth connectivity, whereas obviously if you've had an Xbox, it's not Bluetooth. It's their own like sort of proprietary wireless deal. I don't even know how I can't remember what they're using.
It's why it has no lag.
Yeah,
compared to the PlayStation Bluetooth lag,
which is
that everybody hates,
horrifyingly bad. Which, by the way, they've actually improved upon on the Xbox One, and it's even more lagless, which is kind of crazy bananas. Yep. So it's really cool shit. So anyway, now these are obviously, keep in mind, these are for the old console. So all this stuff, there's talk of going to the one and stuff, but this is sort of they'll see what they can get now and then they'll move on later. So it's planned, but it's almost only if that initial project is successful. So if you guys buy the product, then they're going to obviously start making more for different consoles. The Kickstarter page states that the prototype is capable of a 20-foot line-of-sight range, which is actually kind of short. But lead designer Chris Dowling has clarified to Joystick in an email that the range of the final product should be increased with rearranging some internal hardware. So they're going to try to make it bigger. Quote, the remedy is a simple matter of relocating the receiver at the point I'm confident we'll be able to get a 60 plus foot range. That's what Downing said. So what are your thoughts on this? Do you think it's needed? Do you care? I don't know.
It's interesting.
It's interesting.
Right now, you can get wireless HDMI transmitters for your TV. You can send HDMI. The problem is, the more of these things you have, like if you've ever tried to play a game, forget doing anything wireless. Try playing a game like Rock Band or a rhythm game where it's screen to hand motion over HDMI. That little bit of latency between the audio and what you see on the screen now gets exacerbated as soon as you start broadcasting wireless HDMI. So now you've got all this coming to a handheld that's got no touchscreen. You have to buy these new packs for different consoles. So essentially what it has is one that does the 360 wireless. It's going to have one that does Bluetooth wireless for the other three. And maybe in the future, if they can license whatever technology Xbox is using for the Xbox One, well, then you can put that in there. And I don't know if the PlayStation 4 is using Bluetooth or what it's using, but at some point, they're going to have an update for that if they're successful. It's a cool concept, but the fact that you still need to be that close in line of sight takes away the benefit of it. It's not like it's over your Wi-Fi network and you can be in your bedroom playing on this device. That's the loss. That's what makes it different than the NVIDIA Shield. Being able to go anywhere is a lot different. Anywhere in your Wi-Fi network is a lot different than going within line of sight range of your device, because that means you're sitting on the TV while someone else is doing something.
I don't know. That's the thing I don't get about this device. I'm not saying it's a horrible idea. I do like the idea. But like the point of this, whenever I hear this, like I want to transfer my game to the screen and go play somewhere, it's all about taking a shit. That's all it's about. I mean, if I could take a shit and play some Halo or whatever from my Xbox 360 and watch on a little screen, I'm all aboard. Take my $350. That's fine. But line of sight, that means I'm on the couch that's facing the TV that has the console on. Why am I not just playing on the TV? What is the point? Is it just because someone else is watching Desperate Housewives? No. I don't care about that shit. You turn that shit off, you play Xbox. If you tell your significant other, you got to go upstairs and watch Desperate Housewives. I'm playing video games right now. So I don't know. I just don't feel like it's really worth the money. If it was, like you said, if it was across the wireless network and I could play anywhere I wanted to, in the kitchen, whatever, I'd be on board. But
take it to your bedroom. That's a different thing than sitting on your couch and having to sit in the same room as the screen that you'd rather be playing on.
Right. Yes,
and introducing some kind of HDMI lag to what you're playing. Like, it's lose-lose. Like, you maybe take the lag if you're in some other room and get that benefit of it, but then it becomes like the PlayStation 4 Vita thing, where you can go anywhere in your network and you can stream your games to your Vita and play them there. Like, that's a good value. This having to be in line of sight of your TV, not so much.
Agreed.
All right.
Well, moving on. This one is it's a strange story.
This one is long. Maybe you want to paraphrase.
Well, I'm going to paraphrase it. It is a long. Unfortunately, this week's What the Fuck is a long because it has a history behind it. So I'm going to try to paraphrase it. But yes, it is definitely a long tale. And this starts all the way back, I think, in 2010. So if you guys follow Penny Arcade, you know about PAX. It's really, really successful. A while ago, right around 2010, there was a comic strip that they put out about World of Warcraft, where a mythical creature called the Dickwolf was involved, right? The Dickwolf. Pretty funny. Mm-hmm. As you may remember, the comic strip, Arcade joked about how a character is raped to sleep by Dickwolves. That is in quotes, by the way. The strip was actually about the bizarre mechanics of World of Warcraft and how their quests works. But the rape joke, and as often as this happens, was obviously not received well by the community. So now fast forward up till now, because this is where things get really long. Basically, critics were pissed and people were saying, how dare you? And of course, Penny Arcade made their attempt to say they're sorry, but in a way that was a little flippant, I think. And people, how it is. It's like if they don't feel like your apology is heartfelt enough, then you become even more of a dick and, even more of a rapist lover, I guess, is what they're insinuating here, that they love rapists. So what ended up happening, where this all kind of comes to a head, is they had a merchandising thing where they decided to, and this was in 2010, sort of have shirts that said Team Dickwolf. Sort of as like a smack in the face of all the people being pissed. Well, fast forward to 2013, and they're asking him about this whole scenario. They're saying, how did you feel about this, blah, blah, blah. And
the one thing that he hated was that they made them they had to pull that merchandising off. They had to say, okay, we're sorry, we're going to pull these shirts off. And he actually, and this is, I forget his first name. It's
Jerry.
Is it Jerry? How do you say his last name? Krahulik?
Kulik,
like that? Okay.
Kulik,
So he's obviously, if you don't know him, he's the other half of Penny Arcade. And he decided to wear the shirt in 2010 anyway. So he already was like, fuck these people. But he basically was quoted saying in 2013, there are people who were offended or hurt by the joke in the strip. And rather than just let it go, we decided to make a second strip. That was a mistake. And I apologize to this day for that strip. It was a knee-jerk reaction. And rather than the precision strike back at our detractors that we intended, it was a massive AOE that hurt a lot of innocent people. We should have just stopped right then, but we kept on going and we made the merchandise as well. Had we left it alone, the ongoing tension about the whole thing may have subsided, but Robert made the call to then pull the shirts. In hindsight, all this did was open the wound back up and bring on a whole new wave of debate. Any action that we took at the time just dug us deeper regardless of what it was. What we needed to do was just stop, apologize for it at the time, and I will still apologize for it now. Everything we did after the initial comic strip was a mistake, and I regret all of it. So at this point in time, even though he sort of said he's sorry like 16 times, what ended up happening in 2013 is because this wound was dug back up again. Now you've got some pretty high-level writers and editors saying that they will never attend another PAX or PAX East or PAX Prime again. Like, they're just done because he wasn't apologetic enough and in a quick enough time period. And even now in 2013 can still joke about this Team Dickwolf stuff and the merchandise. They're still offended. And so they're going to boycott all PAX. Now, they're not coming out and saying we're going to boycott. We want everyone to follow us to boycott it. They're just saying...
No. Loot Drop's Elizabeth Sampat said that. She put out a scathing blog post this week that was like...
Did she?
Why the fuck are we still going to PAX? I think was the title of it. But yeah, it was over the top.
Wow. So I haven't even seen that yet because I knew a lot of detractors were sort of just like quietly saying like, I personally won't go.
Well, Lee Alexander said that. She writes for Gama Sutra.
Right.
She's a nice person. We've run her events before, but she feels strongly on one side of this issue. Jim Sterling from Destructo.
I was going to say, just seeing Jim Sterling up there.
Yeah, he was all this week on Twitter. I saw his comments after it was all after Elizabeth Sampat's post, and he was like, this is my last PAX. I can't do this anymore. I can't wait. And he's mentioning like he's going to go to the Gamer Con, which is the gay con, and all these other things and support them. And it's one thing to take a stand. Jim Sterling is known as the guy that's fucking controversial. He's talking about ass fucking.
That's why I thought this was a little too much for me. Come on, dude.
The whole thing is, I'll tell you this. In my background, I've gone to Take Back the Night rallies. I'm anti-violence against women. These are things that are not something that I am for. I am all for a non-female based rape joke. Like we say them on the show all the time. We talk about getting ass raped.
We just talked about it for like 20 minutes.
Yeah. Like that's very different than a violent sexual act on a woman. And the Dickwolves thing was funny for that reason, because it was not about women rape. It was literally this animal, the Dickwolf,
a mythical animal that doesn't exist.
Yes, and whether you're a guy or a woman, it didn't matter, and it wasn't like a real rape. It was fictional. Everything about it was fictional, which is why it was done in good jest. It's like is Clockwork Orange horrible because of it? It has actual female rape,
right?
But people still consider that one of Stanley Kubrick's best movies. Like here, we're talking about something completely fictional, meant in humor, meant in jest, that people have taken over the top. The shirts were awesome. I can see why Jerry was pissed. Robert Ku's kind of we can't talk bad about him, but he kind of took the pussy angle of this so that they didn't get
he didn't want to get sued. He didn't want to get a ton of
the company, not the comic.
Yes.
And
that's a fair thing to think. But I think what happens when you do this, whenever you put yourself on the defensive, and I think what his point was trying to make in 2013 just recently was simply that the more you sort of try to justify why you did it, like, no, you don't get it. It wasn't the rape you're thinking. It wasn't. The more that people seem to like attack you, the more you try to come up with ways to like explain away your rape scenario, just makes them focus more on that it's a rape scenario. They forget that it's about a mythical fake creature that does not exist in this world or any. They forget about that, and then they just focus on you as a rapist lover. And like you just become this thing that, like he said, as they keep stumbling and coming up with more apologies and this and that, or coming up with comic strips to combat this one strip, and they do the t-shirts, which was, by the way, fucking idiotic. I mean, that was idiotic. It's funny, but they reach a point where people can no longer take them seriously because they're joking about the joke. They're joking now about rape, right? And then that becomes the thing, not the original comic
about their
strip.
apology, yes.
Yes. Like, you can't say, I'm sorry, and then be like, haha, just kidding, fuck you, I got a t-shirt.
I'd still like to have one of those shirts, but I just wouldn't wear it to PAX,
right.
let's say.
Well, I mean, we could buy the shirts now. It's not going to hurt our company. We don't have a company. We don't make any money. There's nothing you can take away from us. It's great. It's fantastic.
We already operate in the negative.
Yeah,
it hurt us more than that.
We blaze a trail into the future in the red. That's just how we do it. It's a trail of red. It's fantastic.
Yes.
But, I see stuff like this. It is upsetting because these guys, they meant no harm. They should have just said, I'm sorry if this offended anyone. That really is, obviously, rape is not a funny thing when it happens to anybody. But in this scenario, we apologize. We didn't mean to hurt anyone. And then that's it. Just don't respond to it anymore. Just, I'm sorry. Peace out.
Nobody likes to be oppressed, and that's what was the fucked up part of this. And they have Fruit Fucker. He's a character. He's like this little robotic fruit juicing machine that goes and fucks oranges. Like, that's his job. Like, these guys, everything that ends up in those comics is somehow offensive to somebody. And this was just one of those things. It's like Howard Stern. Eventually everybody gets offended by something. It's just how you handle being offended by that makes you a pussy or a bitch or someone that can roll with the punches.
Agreed. And I think, I'll wrap this up. The only thing I can say is if you don't like the comic strip, fine. Don't read it anymore. But PAX East or PAX Prime, they're not even about the comic strip. They're about the gaming community. They're about getting people who enjoy games and putting them in front of games they may never see or get to see early. They're taking away the E3 red rope, the velveteen rope that everyone knows, and they're letting gamers just show up and play games. So don't be mad at that. Like, don't, say you're not going to go show up to this, or, the community's not going to get your fucking expertise on writing about video games. No one gives a shit about how you write about video games anyway, right? There's a million fucking writers. No one cares. So it's like, don't put that on PAX East or PAX Prime because of this. Just stop fucking reading the strips. All right? All right, I'm done. So what is it? So, D-Smooth, what do you think about the story?
Jay, this story has me saying, what the fuck? And on that, we'll hop over into the mailbag and voicemails. Blue Steel asks, with all the hoopla about digital downloads for the new consoles, why can't I pre-order one of the future AAA titles in digital format? For those that wait for the digital copies to be available, are they going to get screwed out of all the pre-order extras? I'm willing to try the digital route, but not if I'm going to get screwed out of the bonus pre-order rewards. Now, this is a great question, Blue Steel.
Fantastic question.
Because prior to reading your question, I was actually researching this myself. Because I don't plan on buying any discs next gen. I'm going to be all digital guy.
Me too.
I want to be able to go anywhere, play my shit, go to someone else's house, download my shit, play it there. I don't want this. I don't sell stuff back. I don't like getting $5 for my 60. I would rather eat that $5 and have my shit forever. So I don't care about that. So now, some of the pre-order bonuses I could really give a shit about. Some games have legitimate, decent ones. Pre-order and get this extra thing that helps you in the game.
Or
some are just
full map packs, like Battlefield right now. Is that if you pre-order, you get a map pack that you're gonna have to spend $10 later and get.
Yeah, those are legitimate. Like, pre-order and get a different skin for your character that has 3 nipples instead of 5. Like, I don't care about that. But the genuine pre-order bonuses I would like, and I would love to think that maybe come closer to the release of the launch, maybe you'll be able to go to Xbox.com and be able to buy the games from the Xbox Marketplace portion of the website, maybe pre-order in there and get the same thing.
Yeah.
But nobody knows anything about this yet. This is all a gray area. The same thing happens with the release of the console. Like, if someone goes to the store and camps out, gets theirs at midnight, and they buy their game on disc, they get it right away. I have to go home and then wait for it to download, like my 6 gig game. Now, granted, they say, you can start playing while it downloads, but there's a certain amount of the game that needs to download before you can start playing.
Right.
You can't play with 2K downloaded.
Right.
So if you get it the other way, are you at this huge disadvantage, especially now because no one has the consoles to do pre-downloads and that sort of thing. We don't know how any of that's going to work yet.
Right.
But I think for the launch titles, this is a more difficult proposition than it is for titles moving forward. And I think that these systems are going to be worked into place a little bit better. But hopefully, after talking to Larry Herbert at E3, there's a chance. I know this is a busy time for him. He didn't guarantee he'd come on before the release, but he's going to come on sometime either before or after the Xbox launch, and we'll have him on the show and we can ask him some of these sort of questions. But I have a feeling it's probably gonna be after the release.
Yeah,
that's also that's when we got him. Even for the Kinect release, when he came on the show, he came on just after the Kinect, like a month after. He's always gracious to come on. Think of how many news outlets he has to talk to. So, and he's always good for coming on with us. He's a great guy. But I'll try to ask him offline if nothing else and see if I can get a word on that. But it is something I'm interested to because I don't plan on buying any physical discs.
Me neither. I mean, as soon as I'm given the opportunity to sit on my ass and download, that's what I'm gonna do. But I do know that the way they've been talking, they've even said, this is gonna be a slow rollout process. I think for right now, that the way this question is worded, I don't think it's probably in your best interest currently to do it the digital download way. Just because I don't think that they're gonna have those systems ready. I think they were kind of talking about, really slowly. I think by the time you see something like Titanfall or stuff like that we're going to have this ready to go. And
you mean the pre-order stuff?
Yeah, the pre-order stuff. I think that's when digital downloads will have their day, if you will. I think people are going to get used to getting the system and doing it the old way for a while, and they've got to get these things sort of put back in because they were all taken out as we go. So right now, I think it's going to be a tough thing to answer, but I think you'll see some things in a little bit. At least I hope so. At least I hope so, because this is the way I want things to go. I want digital downloads. I do not want to go to the fucking GameStop and give anyone my disc. No.
I'm going to keep it and try to, maybe someday, 5 years later. I went back and I put in Perfect Dark Zero, like 6 years after launch, just to fuck around with it one night. And that game actually does hold up. That was the shooter to end all shooters when the 360 launched.
Yeah.
And you know what? It's actually not that bad a shooter. It really isn't. And who knows? Because you don't sell it back, that's why you end up with it still.
Yep.
But
yep.
Regardless, if I have to sack my pre-order bonuses for the first titles, I'm going to, just because I don't want any discs. That's not how I want to do the next gen. I never want to put a disc in any of my consoles. I'm not going to fucking put a Blu-ray disc in because I'm going to stream my fucking downloads to my console via DLNA. I'm going to play all my games via download. I don't want any disc. That disc drive is going to be a fucking virgin pussy. No cherry poppage there.
Wow.
By the time that console is done, nothing is going to have entered that shit. Hymen intact.
It'd be great if you just use that drive for porn. That'd be great.
That would be so ironic.
Yeah, just for irony's sake. It's like, I just use it for porn, and that's it. That's it.
Hymen intact. All right. And also, Altius asks, hopefully my question makes it on before you guys record this week. What do you think of Sony's PS Vita TV announcement today? I have my thoughts, but would love to hear your opinions. Well, I think we covered most of this when we were talking about the news story about this, but like I said, I'm pretty excited for it. If we can pay another $100 and get the equivalent of being able to play the PlayStation 4 in our house, so then it would be 3 different locations. It would be in the family room in front of the one PS4 that we've pre-ordered. It would be somewhere in the house on Tiff's Vita in a portable format, or maybe down in the basement on our other big, giant, nice living room type setup. Maybe you play on that TV using the PS Vita TV. It's like getting 2 consoles for the price of, one plus $100.
Right.
As long as you don't want the 2 people to be able to play at the same time, which I don't think is going to be a problem anyway, because we're going to have 2 fucking Xbox Ones in the house.
Yeah, you'll have enough where that won't matter. And for me, I don't care. I've already said it before, but I don't think it really poses any reason for me to buy it.
As a single guy,
it just doesn't make sense.
You can just fire up your PS.
Yeah, I'll just play it. I'll just play the system. In fact, my whole thing now with the launch now of Xbox One coming a week after PS4. I was at this weird stage where I wasn't really going to buy the PS4. I had pre-ordered, but now that it's actually coming early, I'm actually for sure buying the PS4 because I want it. I want something now because I've been waiting so long. So I will be buying the PS4 and I will have both. So as a down the road thing, I could maybe see myself getting this. I am going to be moving soon and possibly be in a place with another individual. So maybe then I will. But I don't know. I don't know.
Nobody can see that. You can see that, and you're losing your shit.
You can't be doing that shit off screen. Oh, God. This is what happens. The show goes to shit. This is what happens when Derek gets air conditioning. Everything goes to shit.
Yes. Yeah, I'm no longer dying.
Yeah, exactly. No, but I mean, yeah, in the future, I could see it being a value add. So for right now, I'll just have the PS4. I'll play the PS4. But for a guy like you, I think it is perfect, and it's not that much money. You're not really like $100, not so bad.
$100 to basically move that console to 2 different rooms without dragging it all over the house every time. That's worth it in and of itself.
Yeah,
the possibility of damaging your console, moving it from one room to another, versus buying this $100 thing and being able to play it from either room, it's win-win.
Yeah, agreed.
All right. Well, if any of you have feedback, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us at podcast@tooltoplay.com. You can also comment in this thread on the Tool to Play homepage. You'll see it right there with this news story. It's Still Got Game episode 10. Click in there, comment, let us know what you think. Sponsors, now that we're back from our hiatus, we're actually going to be actively trying to book a sponsor again, or more than one. If you want to sponsor the show, or you know someone that does, give us a call, 773-527-2961. Email us, podcast@tooltoplay.com. Tell us what you want to sell. We'll tell you what you're going to pay us. We'll sell it. You pay us. Boom. Done. And you know what? I'm even going to say right now, well, maybe I won't go that far. But if you want to email us and you name a price that you would like for a month of the show, a 4-episode set, as long as it's within a reason for our CPM and it's not completely like lowballing. Like, we've thrown out some advertising for Tool to Play clans before at a discount. So as long as it's within reason, we don't mind advertising for your shit. And we don't even need to believe in it. We're advertising whores.
Yeah, if Pepsi calls tomorrow and they say, tell me how much you love Pepsi, but then Coke calls the same day, I love both Pepsi and Coke. Yep. They are both the best.
We'll run conflicting ads. I'll be like, I love Coke Zero.
And since I don't have anything,
that's actually
since I don't have anything on my desk, I'll be like, oh, no, I love salt. Fucking
I
love
it. AIDS. Okay.
Wow.
Well, you know what? The AIDS lobby has a lot of money in their pockets.
They do.
So
they do. Huge fans.
You never know.
Huge fans of the AIDS.
Yeah. And the cancer lobby too. They're always trying to be like, cancer, yay. But I'm like, fuck cancer. But if they pay to advertise, we got to do what we got to do. We go where the money is.
You got to pay with the bills.
Yep. Yeah, we got to pay the bills that we never get to pay.
Our
bills just go unpaid.
We've never paid.
We've never paid a bill.
So. When anyone ever sees like server issue on Facebook and I'm like, oh, we're doing stuff in the background, we just haven't paid the bill. I just got to pay the bill.
Yeah, it's not like we don't actually. I misspoke. We pay bills. We just don't take in any money to cover what we pay for bills.
We have to find money from some other place to plug it into the site to keep it running.
Yes.
That's how we do it.
So that is that's true. Oh, and Tiff is saying it's time for a Kickstarter. Well, we do Kickstarter for the land, but maybe it is time to kickstart Tools to Play as a website. We'll give you a little ownership. You can get, like, maybe we'll give the first 50 people that go into the Kickstarter for a certain amount of money. Maybe we'll give you 1% of the Tool to Play profits for a year. Maybe we'll even give you 20% of the Tool to Play.
Sure, take them.
We can afford to give 20% of the profits
Definitely.
to 500 people for a whole year.
For sure.
Yeah, someone's doing the math. They're like, that doesn't make any sense. Well, it does, because there's a certain number of profit that you can divide up infinitely.
I'll give you a hint. It's a void.
I'll give you a clue. It's the number of fucks I give.
Zero fucks.
All right. But anyway, yes. So if you want to sponsor us, let us know, and we'll definitely treat your product right.
There we go.
Twitter us up. You can find everything Tool to Play related at twitter.com/Tool to Play. Everything podcast related at twitter.com/still_got_game. I, king of the internet, god of everything that's holy, I'm at twitter.com/Derek Nolan.
And you can find me over at twitter.com/DudeIRock.
Facebook the fuck out of us, trademark. You can find everything Tool to Play related at facebook.com/Tool to Play. I'm at facebook.com/Derek Nolan.
Of course, I'm at facebook.com/DudeIRock.
Please rate and review our podcast in iTunes. Give us 5 stars. Tell people we're awesome. Tell people we're gods. Leave a comment with it. The comment is key, because commenting helps. And, even if first off, you should subscribe to the podcast in iTunes, because that's a de facto standard. Even if you have like a ghetto Apple device or ghetto Microsoft device, or you have some Droid fucking bullshit like, oh, look at me, I'm the new retro fucking weird shit. No, fuck you. Your Droid shit's ghetto. You just don't want to be part of the Apple ecosystem. Fucking come to the dark side. Like, I hate Apple shit. I would never buy an Apple computer. I love their iDevices. They're so godly. So come to that side of the system. Log into iTunes. Give it 5 stars. Write a nice review about us. Tell people we're gods. Tell people we're awesome. You love the show. We make your life better, and it'll help us. And by helping us, it'll eventually help you, because the quality of the show will get better.
Yes, the quality will definitely get better. Yes.
All right. Well, just want to remind everyone before we wrap up, you can join us each and every Monday night. We are live, 7 p.m. Eastern. And even tonight, with all the chaos, we came on.
I think we were on time.
Like if we were not on time, it was by a number of seconds that we were off.
Yeah, I kicked in the door at the last minute and fired shit up, slurped down some Wendy's, and I was ready to go.
His door's still off the hinges right
is.
now. Like there's rogue dogs coming in his house. His dog's gone, but he'll deal with that later.
I
But
do
he
whatever
did-
I can to get here on time for you.
Yes.
Love you.
So we're here every Monday night, 7 p.m. Eastern, 4 p.m. Pacific, twitch.tv/Tool to Play. And on that, we will wrap this episode up. I am Derek D. Smooth Nolan.
And I am Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
Dickwolves.
Dickwolves. They're so good.
We need to get some Dickwolf shirts. Maybe we should give away some Dickwolf shirts.
Now that would be a controversial contest. We could tweet that out, have people retweet it, and then all of a sudden we'd be hated by Jim Sterling. Like
That's all you need.
Jim Sterling, I don't understand that. Jim Sterling is like the most hated journalist ever.
And he's like, oh, now I want to get all soft. You know what? It's because it sells. People want to read it. They, like, oh, he's offended, and now we should really read his shit.
Yes,
He
this
doesn't give a
Jim Sterling
shit.
character. Let's see what he's written in the past. Oh, this game sucks penis, sheep penis, and cow penis, and dog penis. Wait, cows don't have penis. Cows add a penis to have this sucked by this game. Jim Sterling. Like, you're like, what the fuck? Like, this guy is the raunchiest guy on the planet, but he's like, no.
I can't stand
Dickwolves,
people
I
like
can't go to
that.
PAX anymore. Jim Sterling isn't even his real name.
Really?
Yeah.
What's his name? Is like Bob Newhart?
I forget. Alexander Slinsky told us that at Packers Party one year.
Yeah.
Alexander Slinsky, good guy.
Yeah, really good guy. Yeah. I just don't like that idea of like I am offended now and I have to like jump on this fucking bandwagon of hating. That's just fucking stupid. It's a whole waste of time. And like, what are they going to accomplish by doing this? By boycotting? Like what is the accomplishment there? That's all I just want to know.
And what's her name? The first girl, Elizabeth. I'm trying to find her name. Elizabeth.
Douchey
Elizabeth
McDouche button?
Sampat. She's the one. She was calling for like companies to man up and don't show your shit at these shows.
Ah, it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's absurd. Like, there gets to be a point where you're just talking to make yourself feel cool.
Yeah, that's what it is. Again, it's traffic. And then it makes me want to say to them, you're exploiting rape for your own benefit. You people are the ones that make it bad. You're just saying like, oh, let's jump on this anti-rape platform so I can get viewers so I can buy myself some more Cheetos to eat.
Yep.
Meanwhile,
Yeah,
there's guys like me and you, we can't even afford Cheetos.
No, fuck no.
We don't get the
need
name brand
more
Cheetos. We get cheese puffs. That's what we get.
Store brand.
Store brand cheese puffs.
Cheese toes. Yes.
Cheese toes. There you go.
Yeah, her blog post, quit going to fucking PAX already. What is wrong with you? Was the title of the blog post. It's been retweeted and blogged a million times.
Fuck that.
And
we
then
make a blog post
covers
about why we're
the
going?
frequently exclaimed butts. But it's not like Dickwolf stuff bothers me, and then she gives a reason for that, blah, blah, blah. But PAX and Penny Arcade are not the same thing. Her response, but they are the same thing. They're hopelessly intertwined. There's no reforming the parts of PAX that are bad, because the parts of PAX that are bad are all the owners of PAX. Like, fuck you, bitch. Sorry. Elizabeth Sampak, bonage, suck it.
I'm absolutely floored by that. Like that has no logic. This is the problem with women. And I don't mean to get on a tirade here, but you can't connect these two things together. They have this uncanny ability to connect two things that don't relate to one another together to try to make a point.
Yep.
It doesn't work that way.
That's absurd. It's like,
It's out of control.
there's things to take your stance on. There's things to take a stance on because you know it's going to make you popular on the internet. And I feel like that's what Elizabeth's done here.
That's what I hate about it. Again, they're exploiting the rape.
Yep.
They're exploiting. This has nothing to do with the rape.
Yeah,
thing.
it's really that's exactly what it is. It's a reverse exploit of the rape situation to get blog views.
To get on a fucking pedestal and talk your shit.
Yep.
I don't know. Pisses me off.
Yes.
I'm gonna go rape this salt.
Nice job.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Salt's gonna be taught a lesson.
You tell it. All right. So thank you all for tuning in. We're glad you all tuned in tonight. We try. We are full of awesome. That's how we roll.
That's how we
100% awesome all the time. And decent amount of viewers tonight. even without someone padding our numbers. We're up in the 20s somethings.
That's fun. I'm glad
for
you
a
guys
while.
are finally tuning in. Feel free to talk more shit in chat and let us know like how vulgar and shitty we are.
Yeah, like maybe for some of you, like if you didn't know, you can actually create an account on Twitch TV so that you can participate in chat. Like you don't just have to. I feel like maybe there's someone that just goes to twitch.tv/tool2play and watches and doesn't realize like if you create an account, you don't need that just to broadcast. You can create an account and use that to sign in and communicate in that chat box that's to the right.
Wow, you're really
No,
explaining.
maybe
this.
they could be watching the Xbox. They could be watching full screen, so maybe they don't see the chat. But there is a chat thing that people are participating in and kind of giving us feedback throughout the show, and we would love more feedback from you.
Yeah, that's true. We would love more feedback.
Yep. All right. Well, thank you all for joining us, and this will be on iTunes on Wednesday morning.
Yeah, we'll see you guys there. Hopefully the quality's a little bit. I know today we finally got it. We're streaming in 720p now, so
we're looking
pro
good.
now. We're looking better. Yeah, looking real
handsome
sexy.
as fuck.
Now I got to get the lights back in this room because I took them down, so it's really dark and sad in here. But don't worry, I'm in good spirits. It just looks.
You are dark. You look gloomy, and
It's
look
very
like,
sad here. You're like, yay! I'm just like, oh, I got to do the show.
Like I got a Tool to Play banner back here, this side. Yeah. See, it's the opposite I'm seeing on my screen.
Yeah,
it's back here. Yes.
And I have a window that's closed.
Venetian blinds.
Yeah,
Nice.
it's Venetian. Yes. Yes.
If we change our name to Venetian to Play, you're one step ahead of the game.
Let me open that up. You can see a nice forest out there in the city of Chicago. There's a forest.
Nice. Looks almost like growth. But
yeah, no, there's some
from
sickness
afar, it looks
on
like a
the side.
forest. But if I was up close, I would be like, wow, that's just growth on the window itself.
Yeah, I can make it. All right. This is how I'm going to do the show from now on. It's going to be real sad. It's all dark in here. I'm sorry, guys.
I'll see. I need to hang on.
No, I'm sorry, guys. You see, guys, video games don't make me really happy. I'm not really happy with the gaming. Oh, can we do candle? Can we do... Shit just gets weird. It's just going to get weirder. You know what we'll do is... Eventually we'll do like...
Sexy time radio.
Yeah, we need to like bring some candles in on it as well. Do candlelight podcasting with Derek Nolan and Joel Dude I Rock Albert.
The sexy side of video games.
Tonight we bring you the sultry sounds of Derek Nolan and Joel Dude I Rock Albert as we whisk you away
to the sexier side of video games.
See, this is what you guys wanted. You finally get it. You get the emo
You've
side.
asked for it, and now you've got it. And now you're horrified.
You said, please don't give it to me. And we gave it to you anyway.
It's all Dickwolves all the time. All right,
yeah. We got to get out of here. This is terrible. Right. We got to get out of here. We're pulling the plug. The show is over.
All
right. Next week. We'll see you guys later. We apologize for everything that followed the ending of the show. Thank you very much.
Yes, it became more awesome.
Later.